You probably think your dog forgets things fast. A scolding fades in minutes. A stepped-on paw is forgiven by dinner. That's the story we tell ourselves, and it makes dogs feel simple, forgiving by default, incapable of holding on to much at all. But researchers studying canine memory have found something that flips this completely. Dogs don't just forget less than we assume, they build something closer to an emotional ledger, quietly tracking who has been gentle with them and who hasn't, and that ledger shapes behavior for years, sometimes for a dog's entire life. The kindness you showed your dog last winter, the moment you sat on the floor with them during a thunderstorm, the way you spoke when they were scared at the vet, none of that vanished. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly what your dog remembers about you and why that memory might be the deepest part of your bond. 1. Think about the last time you helped your dog through something hard, maybe pulling a burr from their paw or carrying them up the stairs when their legs gave out. You assumed the moment passed once the discomfort ended. Claudia Fugazza and her team at Eötvös-Loránd University in Hungary tested something remarkable in 2016. They trained dogs to imitate human actions on command, then later asked them to recall and repeat actions the dogs hadn't been told they'd need to remember. The dogs succeeded, proving they hold on to specific past events, not just trained responses. This is called episodic-like memory. And it means your dog isn't just reacting to you in the present moment. They're carrying a private archive of what you did and when and how it felt. 2. Here's where it gets more personal. Your dog isn't only remembering what happens to them directly, they're watching how you treat other people, forming judgments based on it. Researchers at Kyoto University, led by Hitomi Chijiiwa, ran an experiment where dogs watched their owners struggle to open a container and ask nearby strangers for help. Some strangers helped, others refused. A third group did nothing at all. Afterward, the dogs were offered treats by both the helpful stranger and the one who'd refused. Overwhelmingly, they avoided the person who'd been unkind to their owner. Your dog is running a background check on every person who enters your life, and kindness toward you is the single biggest factor in whether they pass. Before we go further, if this is changing how you think about your dog's inner world, hit subscribe, because we unpack a new piece of this science every week. 3. Kindness doesn't just get noticed, it gets chemically encoded. Takefumi Kikusui at Azubu University in Japan discovered something in 2015 that reshaped how scientists understand the dog-human bond. When you make gentle eye contact with your dog, both of your oxytocin levels rise together, creating what researchers now call a hormonal feedback loop. This isn't a metaphor, it's measurable in blood samples, rising and falling in sync between species that evolved thousands of miles apart. Every soft glance, every calm word after a hard day is quite literally building a biochemical association between your presence and safety. Your dog's brain isn't just storing a memory of your kindness, it's storing the feeling of it, wired into the same reward pathways that once helped their ancestors survive. 4. Now flip it. Because dogs remember the absence of fairness just as sharply as they remember its presence. Friederike Range at the University of Vienna found in a landmark 2009 study that dogs refuse to keep performing a trick when they see another dog get rewarded for the same behavior while they get nothing. Their stress visibly rises. Some stop participating entirely. This is called inequity aversion, and until Range's work, scientists assumed only primates were capable of it. Your dog isn't passively accepting whatever treatment comes their way. They're comparing, evaluating, and remembering when something felt unjust, which means the opposite is true too. When you're consistently patient, when you show up the same gentle way even on your hard days, that consistency becomes part of what your dog trusts about the world itself. 5. This brings us to the deepest layer, the one that outlasts almost anything else in a dog's mind. Adam Miklosi and colleagues at Eötvös Loránd University have spent decades studying attachment in dogs, and their research on reunions, including cases where dogs recognized former owners after years of separation, points to something profound. The recognition wasn't just visual or scent-based, it carried an emotional charge, visible in lowered heart rates and relaxed body posture that only appears with someone the dog once felt safe with. Kindness, it turns out, doesn't get filed away as a fact, it gets filed away as a feeling of safety attached to you specifically, one that can survive years of separation and resurface instantly the moment you're close again. That's not a trained response, that's love, stored the only way a dog knows how to store it. Somewhere in your dog, right now, there's a version of you built entirely out of moments you don't even remember giving them. The steady voice during a storm, the patience on a slow walk when you were in a hurry but stopped anyway. Dogs don't keep score to punish us. They keep score because kindness to them is data about whether the world is safe, and you are proof that it can be. Every gentle moment you've ever given your dog is still living somewhere inside them, shaping how they trust, how they settle, how they look at you across a room. You may forget the small kindnesses you show your dog on an ordinary Tuesday. Your dog never will.